This is Matt Waldron, MLB's lone knuckleballer.
And a swing and a miss. Blackman strikes out. Good knuckleball right here. Oh, that's a dandy. Ball's dancing right there.
Acquired by the Padres as a player to be named later in a 2020 trade, Waldron and his knuckleball have received league-wide attention. Not only did Patrick Mahomes shout him out, Jazz Chisholm Jr. said this knuckleball was probably the best pitch he'd ever seen. This pitch already makes Waldron one of the most unique players in today's game, but within the knuckleball fraternity, he stands out in a different way. Since the start of the pitch tracking era in 2008, only 4 pitchers have thrown at least 1,000 knuckleballs, meaning these are the players who made their living off this pitch for an extended period of time. Tim Wakefield, R.A. Dickey, and Stephen Wright all posted usage rates of at least 75%. Then there's Matt Waldron, who has a career knuckleball usage rate less than half of his peers. So, what's going on here?
Janis today making his Major League debut, 33 years old. It's a day that Mickey Janis will never forget.
This is Mickey Janis, who prior to Waldron's debut in 2023 was MLB's last knuckleballer, appearing in a single game for a 110-loss Orioles team in 2021. Perhaps a forgettable performance today, but Janis's journey to the big leagues was far from it. Drafted in the 44th round of the 2010 MLB draft, Janis's arsenal wasn't anything special, so when he was released by the Rays after the 2011 season, he fixated on the one pitch he seldom used to keep his baseball dreams alive: the knuckleball. As written by Jake Mintz of Cespedes Family Barbecue, no one dreams of being a knuckleballer. It's a profession born out of failure. Growing pains are a given when learning any pitch, but the knuckleball is in a category of its own. It's about finding trust in a notoriously untrustworthy pitch. It's not just like a quick tweak and then all of a sudden you figure it out forever and ever. It's a matter of getting that consistent feel down with the grip. That's the tricky part. It's a feel pitch. Ultimately, it's a pitch you have to throw consistently to extract any consistency from it. Yet, Waldron has chosen to deviate from this philosophy. Think of it like this. Both Waldron and Janis's peak number of knuckleballs thrown in a big league game is 57, but the difference lies in the usage rates. As for Waldron, this rate was a glaring anomaly compared to the rest of his 2024 season. Waldron isn't your typical knuckleballer, but his big league journey resembled any other pitcher who held this pitch in their repertoire. When he was traded to the Padres in 2020, Waldron wasn't named on any prospect lists. He was your standard organizational depth guy with a low 90s fastball and fringe secondary pitches. Then one day during 2021 spring training, he fooled around with the knuckleball during practice. A Padres coach took notice and asked him to throw it for their tracking system. From that point on, the knuckleball became part of Waldron's arsenal. There were plenty of growing pains, most notably seen in his AA and AAA stints in 2022, but eventually, in 2023, he made his big league debut with the label of knuckleballer. However, if you ask Waldron, he'll say the pitch is just another tool in his arsenal. In 2024, he threw 5 different pitches, 4 of them with usage rates of at least 14%. Crucially, the usage rates of these pitches are heavily dependent on the situation. For example, not only does his knuckleball usage deviate by around 7% depending on the handedness of the batter, he's more likely to use his secondary pitches against right-handers. But there's one set of splits that define Waldron's relationship with the knuckleball: when he's ahead or behind in the count. In favorable counts, he throws the knuckleball over 50% of the time, illustrating a high level of trust in the pitch. However, when behind in the count, this usage rate plummets by more than half as he instead leans on the sweeper as his primary pitch. As I said earlier, the dilemma with knuckleballs is finding trust in an untrustworthy pitch, something Waldron has admitted to struggle with. In fact, when he was called up for the first time in mid-2023, he told told the team he didn't want to throw the pitch anymore as he was coming into the big leagues with a 7.02 AAA ERA. Granted, he was pitching in a notoriously hitter-friendly environment, but baseball is a mentally taxing game, and the mind of a knuckleballer is perhaps the most scattered of them all. This is why the members of this exclusive club lean on each other for support. In Waldron's case, the late great knuckleballer Tim Wakefield was a key mentor during his minor league days. In addition to topics such as pitch grip and mechanics, they talked about the mental side of the game. My hardest transition was just learning how to compete with it, and I think Wakefield obviously understood that really well. You know, bad stuff's gonna happen sometimes, and just understanding how to get better the next day. Unfortunately, after Waldron became a big leaguer, the two never had a chance to reconnect before Wakefield's passing. But as Waldron stood on the mound Wakefield commanded for nearly 2 decades, he was in the midst of a run that resembled Wakefield at his peak. In the 9 starts prior to his Fenway start on June 30th, Waldron held a 1.95 ERA, the 4th best among qualified pitchers. This span featured some of Waldron's best performances, most notably his May 28th outing against the Marlins. With a 55% usage rate and a near career high average velocity of around 79 miles per hour in this game, Waldron showcased what he's capable of when he's fully trusting his knuckleball. As mentioned earlier, how Waldron begins an at-bat dictates how he uses his pitch arsenal for the rest of the at-bat. The knuckleball is often the first pitch he throws, and when he hits it for a strike, that's when he feels he can do something. In 2024, Waldron had 7 starts where he possessed both a first pitch strike rate and knuckleball rate higher than his season average, meaning these outings were him at his most confident. So is it any surprise that 5 of his best starts of the year appear on this list? After all, when the knuckleball is working, it adds deceptiveness to the rest of his arsenal. As said by the Rockies' Brenton Doyle, it makes his fastball even a little sneakier because he throws a lot of knuckleballs and you want to stay back. But at the same time, he has that fastball in his back pocket that he can throw 90 to 92. That 90 to 92 miles per hour fastball may be below league average, but it's certainly one of the fastest pitches a knuckleballer has ever thrown. However, the pitch that truly separates Waldron from his peers is his sweeper. Between his 3 most used pitches, the sweeper resulted in the lowest strikeout rate, but according to run value, it's easily his best. Like the knuckleball, it doesn't result in much hard contact. But at the same time, he doesn't really use it as a strikeout pitch. To be fair, strikeouts aren't what Waldron's searching for. It's soft contact, which often comes in the form of fly balls. However, when he's off his game, when he's not trusting his knuckleball, these fly balls turn into barreled balls. Waldron's season can be split into 3 sections: early season struggles, mid-season success, and a disastrous end to the season. His mid-season run is characterized by low barrels, high knuckleball usage, and a high first pitch strike rate. For the most part, the other 2 sections are characterized by the opposite. Overall, Waldron has created a unique lane for himself in the baseball world. He utilizes a notoriously rare pitch that was thought to require exclusivity for success, but he's shown the pitch can be successful in a mixed repertoire. Although, while the usage rates may indicate otherwise, like his predecessors, he still lives and dies by the knuckleball, and this reality is something Waldron is learning to accept. I have to admit, I'm better with that and just use it more. It's just who I am, and I'm still learning some things, obviously. I don't know what number that is for me for starts, but I'm constantly learning more and more. I think it's just way more important than I've ever given credit. Ultimately, Waldron is an integral character in the 2024 Padres story, as during a multi-month period of 500 baseball and pitching injuries, Waldron turned into one of the league's most consistent pitchers. The wheels eventually fell off around the trade deadline, but since then, the Padres have been one of the hottest teams in baseball, and this wouldn't have been possible without Waldron. While the career of a knuckleballer is one born out of failure, there's a select few who revitalize their careers and find success. So far, Waldron has had his moments of triumph, but will this lead to a career of success? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe to Raving Sports, and check out my channel, Sports Storm. Thanks for watching.